Yo, 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 welcome back to another edition of the Coach's Corner. You're right, we're back here at the Tivoli Tap House. I'm your host, Hector Cervantes, and today I'm joined by Eli Bacon. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your holidays, bro? Tell us.
It went by really fast, but glad to be back.
Yeah, kicking it, bro. Just kicking it, bro. So tell us, who do we have on the show?
Well, technically it's still winter outside, but the spring sports season is almost underway. We'll get into some baseball, talking with head coach Ryan Strain. His squad 2020 season starts this weekend. And let's hit the links as the golf season is almost underway. So we'll bring on head coach Stefanie Ferguson. And we'll also get to know Gabby Esquibel from Coaches Ferguson's golf squad. She's a local kid who left for Hawaii and now is back in downtown Denver. So it'll be fun to hear that story.
Hey, that sounds great, bro. Now let's take it slow, just take it calm, and let's kick it. All right, but before we get started, let's get you all caught up on what happened and took place this past weekend on Roadrunner Sports. Let's start with some men's basketball, and after a tough loss to Colorado Mines on Friday, Coach Ball's squad rebounded to a big win against UC Colorado Springs the following night. UCCS was a few spots ahead of MSU Denver in the RMAC standings, so this was a big implication for the postseason. 4 different Roadrunners scored on double figures, including a season-high 13 points from Marius Colton. The win improved MSU Denver to 6-7 in RMAC play.
The women's basketball team also came through with a big win on Saturday night, taking down UCCS 67-55. After scoring a season-high 19 points on Friday night, Bree Wellington came through once again, piling up 18 points against the Mountain Lions. It was a close game in the second half when a 12-2 run opened up the game for Coach Have's squad, and they would go to win their 7th conference win this season.
So now we welcome in Coach Stefanie Ferguson. Coach, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So we haven't had you since November of last year. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. So tell us how you've been doing.
Good. We had a little break. I think right after, or when I was here last was right after we got back from Puerto Rico. So that pretty much brought us into our off season. So we just did a little bit to kind of gear down, and then girls were gone for break, and so literally had our first day back to practice today. So just getting going again.
Cool. So how do you feel your squad is looking? It's been quite a season, quite a break.
Yeah. They're looking good. We just hit inside today, so can only tell so much. But I think they're looking good. Their attitudes are all good. They're ready to work hard. So looking forward to the spring.
Good.
What are some of the first things you work on with your squad to get them ready for the first tournament?
Yeah, so we'll spend a lot of time on short game, just kind of getting that feel back. I think that's something that if you don't practice a lot, it goes away. It's tough to practice this time of year too, just because the grass is all dead. But we'll spend some time on short game. We'll get out on the course and do some course management work, just get them out playing again, get some rounds under their belts before we go to California in March.
Yeah, cool. So team chemistry is, essential for every team. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how do you, even though you said you haven't seen much from them, how do you think they're working together?
They always get along really well, and they push each other, so they'll be great. I don't worry about it. Golf is technically an individual sport, so but our scores have to count together as a team. But they do great. They push each other. They work hard. They have fun together. So that's all I can ask for.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the weather's been pretty good so far, knock on wood. But are you doing anything inside or for workouts these days, since the weather is pretty nice?
Yeah, so as far as practice goes, we'll be outside most of the time if the weather's good enough. If we have to hit balls inside, we will. And then just weights and conditioning and stuff like that starts again tomorrow, and then we'll start kickboxing a week from Friday, so we do that every other week as well. So got a lot going on between practice and conditioning, but it should be good.
So I know you probably prefer to be outdoors. What are some of the benefits to working out indoors? Is there any crazy secrets or anything like that?
The nice thing about indoors is you can't see as much ball flight, so sometimes that's good. If we're working on something technical in their swing, they can just really focus on that and not worry about the outcome so much, which outside, as soon as they see where the ball goes, they're going to start judging that. So we do kind of take that piece away, which is nice. And then for putting and stuff, we can work on some smaller strokes and some technical stuff with that as well. And again, kind of take the outcome out.
Yeah, so we're going to have Gabby Esquibel up next.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about her? We know she's a sophomore, you know.
Yeah.
How is she performing? How do you find out about, or how do you got her in your team? You know?
Yeah. So Gabby actually started at Hawaii, and I was really lucky. She reached out to me and was looking to transfer. And she's just a great girl, great attitude, works really hard, wants to be a really good player. So excited with what Gabby can bring to the team, and I think she's going to be a really good leader as she gets older. But she's just a blast to have, and just really gets along well with everybody. So she's going to do some good things. I think we're working on a few things in her swing right now, so we'll see how the spring goes, but I think she's going to do really well.
Cool.
I mean, you mentioned your swing. Is there any improvements since you've brought her in so far, or is there any things that you'd like to see her? I mean, you mentioned the swing already, but anything else that you'd like to see her work on?
Sure, just some little tweaks, really. I think with all the girls, not just Gabby, we're working on getting a little more power for all of them. So we've been working with some swing trainers to help get a little more speed and just a little more distance. But overall, she's very steady, hits it down the middle, hits the greens, and has a solid short game. So I think it's just getting her a little more distance.
So you're actually going to have a tournament really close, actually. It's coming up in California on March 2nd. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How are you and your girls preparing for that tournament?
Like I said, just going to try to get out and play as much as we can here. We'll try to play a couple different courses and really focus on the short game. And then when we actually get there, we'll spend a lot of time around the greens in our practice round just to get a feel for it. But it's a little tough since it's live grass there and everything's dead here to really, truly prep for it, but we'll do what we can.
Yeah, well, you don't want to give away your tactics to the competition.
I know, right. I'm sure they're all watching right now. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, Lansing knows you're a big Rockies fan. How excited were you to see Larry Walker get into?
Yeah, that's super cool. I think that's. I wish we would have signed up to work that game because that would have been a good one. But that's super cool. I think it's well deserved for him. So it'd be cool.
Cool. So here's my question.
Yeah.
I've been doing Top Golf, right?
Okay. Yeah.
How can you get me to improve on Top Golf? It seems easy, right? It seems easy. But like you get up there and you start like swinging and like, I miss,
Yeah.
How?
I think really the secret of Top Golf is to hit it as far as you can. Because if you can hit that back net, you get all the points. So I'd say swing for the fences there for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, just power.
Yeah. As hard as you can.
All right.
Always,
I'll try it next time, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Yeah, please do. Keep me posted.
All right. Cool. Well, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we want to wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to take our first break, but before that, let's bring you the tweet of the week. It comes from the volleyball team account at MSU Denver. VB Team 51 celebrated their 2019 season at their team banquet this past Saturday night. The squad made it to their 20th straight NCAA tournament and also honored two amazing seniors in the middle blocker, Alyssa Kelling, and team manager Taylor Moran. Now it's time for that break, but stay tuned since we're going to be talking some baseball up next in the Coach's Corner.
How do you imagine your college experience? 4 years in front of a whiteboard before you start your real life? Not me. I want a school in the heart of the city that is the heart of the city. I want a campus that looks like the real world and hustles like the real world, where I can learn with my hands, my head, and my heart. Where students take to the sky, flying circles around the competition, and finding direct paths right here on campus to space-related careers. Where entrepreneurs have license to innovate, to brew up new ideas in hospitality. I want a school where the only limits are what I can dream. Where classes lead to careers and opportunity. Where cyber warriors train. Tomorrow's teachers grow. Poets, painters, and performers learn to feed their souls and their families. I want to study with professors that care more about me than their next book, who are leaders in their fields and industry icons, but whose greatest expertise is sharing that expertise with me. I want a university that sees me, knows me, that looks beyond my grades, my past, and sees what is possible.
Hi, I'm Leia Harvey. I'm a senior from the women's basketball team. And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Let's try that again. And you're watching the... Okay, one more time. And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back, and before we get to know Coach, let's get you, if you're planning a next big event, you can host it right here in the Tivoli Tap House. Whether you have the next big meeting coming up or you just want to plan that big get-together with co-workers or friends, you can do so right here at the Tivoli Tap House. They have a great view of downtown Denver, and you have a great selection of beers and wines that are made right here on site. So visit TivoliBrewingCo.com for more information on how you can schedule your next big event right here in the middle of downtown Denver. So now we say hello to Coach Tryon Strain. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you guys?
Great.
Great. So how was your break?
It was good. It was, you know, got a little away from the team a little bit, away from here a little bit, hung out with the family, but it was good.
Yeah, just chilling.
I relaxed before all the games start up.
That's great. That's great. So, Coach, we know you're a Colorado guy. We know you love baseball. So, what do you think about Larry Walker making it to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's great. It's great for him. I mean, the first Rocky to get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I grew up watching him. He was playing when I was younger, and obviously a great player, well-deserving. You know, sometimes it takes a little while to get the Rockies players into the Hall of Fame, just because, especially on the offensive side, just because of the park, and there's so many. It's such a good hitters park that there might have been a little bit of a bias, but hopefully this will allow more Rockies to get in the future.
I mean, Larry Walker, getting him in there is great. The weather also has been great in Denver. How beneficial is that for you and your squad?
Really beneficial, yeah. I mean, anytime you can get outside, especially in January, it's really good. But we've been lucky. I mean, we have really had no weather days at all since we started on January 10th. So we've been able to get out there each and every day, and it's allowed us to get a lot of reps and make us ready when we play next week.
How far ahead of the season do you look at the weather conditions? Are we expecting any snow or any bad weather coming up?
I hope not. I mean, pretty much the 10-day weather for Denver or Hays, Kansas, here recently has been on my phone. We pretty much check it every day. So got a pretty good idea what's going on, but knock on wood, it should be pretty good except for maybe one day over the next 10 days. So it's supposed to be nice in Hays, Kansas this weekend, so we should be able to get all our games in.
Yeah. So as we mentioned Kansas, you're going to Kansas this week, right? 2020 season is about to start for you guys. How are you excited to face new competition or, see new competition?
Yeah, I think our guys at this point, we've been playing against each other pretty much all fall and then the last couple weeks getting ready. So we're ready. It's time to, go play somebody else, and I'm excited to get on the road. I think it's always important for our guys to get on the road and be with each other and be in the hotel and kind of get used to that, before conference play starts. And so this year we're starting, right out of the gate on the road.
That's amazing. So, Coach, without telling us so much, how do you prepare for this weekend series?
Well, a little bit of everything. When we first got back, we hadn't seen the guys in 6-7 weeks, so we kind of had to start with the basics. It's almost like starting, brand new with all our guys. So back to the fundamentals, trying to get them as many reps as possible, and then the most important thing is just trying to get them as much live action as you can. I mean, we're limited a little bit with, with our pitchers and making sure that we don't overuse them because they need to be healthy and ready to go this weekend. But I think that's the main thing, just kind of getting back to the fundamentals, getting guys used to playing, getting used to guys being sore and kind of getting through that, and then most importantly, trying to get them live reps against live hitters and live pitchers.
So you guys have about 35 guys on your roster. Do you guys take the whole squad on those road trips, and do you guys do anything with the team to have them interact with each other, like team bonding experience?
Yeah, I mean, we we'll take most of our guys if they're healthy, especially early on. Once we get into conference, this year we may not take everybody because, like I said, we got 35, 36 guys that are going to be on our team. We have several guys that are hurt right now that may redshirt, may be out for the season. So with that, we won't take all of them. But I think right now we'll probably take about 30 on this first trip, and then as we get more guys healthy, we'll start having to make some of those decisions on who all comes. But for the most part, we take everybody, and I think as far as team bonding, I mean, we're together for 4 straight days. We try to organize the rooms to have some of the older guys, some of the younger guys together, and we're going to be together a lot, so we'll bond pretty quickly this first weekend.
So with now a few games coming up, have you already decided who's playing where, and have you already sorted everything out, or are you still figuring things out?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have an idea of what we're going to do. We have a plan, especially on who's going to start for us on the weekend in the pitching rotation. As far as the position players, we have a lot of good position players that have played really well through the fall and to this point so far. So we got to get a lot of guys some opportunities, especially in these first few weeks. So we have a plan on who's going to play the first game, but that may alter a little bit as the weekend goes, depending on how guys play and how many guys we're able able to get into, the game. So we got a good idea, but it's going to play by ear a little bit to make sure everybody has an opportunity. So when we leave after this first weekend, and as we play non-conference games, we have a really good idea of where we're going and who our best guys are when we get into conference play.
So obviously wins are an indicator of how the weekend went, but as the coach, what really counts as success for you coming out of the series with Hayes?
Well, I think, like you said, first and foremost, wins. We want to win every single game we play, so that's an important piece of it. But how we play, if we play hard, how we swing the bat, how we pitch, how different guys do different things in different roles. I think that's an important part of it too, that guys accept their roles and they perform when they need to perform. But ultimately it's going to come down with wins and losses. It is non-conference, but it still counts, and they're important games. Every single game we go out there and play. So first and foremost, we play hard and we play well, and then secondary, we got to get as many wins as we possibly can.
So how do you feel your overall team is looking? Is there anyone who should be looking forward, new talents, anyone that's stepping up their game?
Yeah, I think we got a really good team. I think this is my third year here, 1 through 36. This is probably the best depth that we have. Really the guy that's going to start or the guy that's behind him are pretty close in talent, and so that gives us an opportunity to play a lot of different lineups. And, if somebody goes down, I feel confident that the next guys can do a good job. But we return a lot of good players. We have a couple good hitters in our lineup that, hit in the middle last year, and with Chase Anderson and Logan Sewell, and then Zach Paschke played every day at shortstop. He'll be returning. We have some new catchers that'll be in this year. That's going to kind of be a change. But we have some other guys that are new. They're going to step up, or guys that maybe are on the roster last year that had the red shirt. That I think most of the fans don't know who they are, but I think they're going to step up and have a really good season.
We know Matt Malkin brought a lot of power to the squad in 2019, along with Jake. Who will be those guys that will bring the power in 2020?
Yeah, losing a couple of those guys, obviously we set a school record in home runs last year, so we lost some pretty good power guys. But, we still have Logan Sewell that hit 15 home runs. I think Zach Walsh and Chase Anderson both have a chance to hit double-digit home runs. Spencer Jandro is a new player, junior college kid coming in. I think he can step in and hit some home runs. And then Dylan Nelson, won the first base job last year, got hurt in the very first game and pretty much missed the entire year and had to redshirt. He's got some power too. So, there's some guys who are going to hit some home runs. We also have some of our smaller guys that might not be home run hitters, but I think power-wise we may not quite hit as many home runs as last year, but I wouldn't be surprised if we hit some home runs. And I think overall depth-wise, I think it's a better hitting team than we were last year.
Cool. So, Coach, I hope you did your homework, because we're going to ask you some Roadrunner trivia. You did it.
Good luck. I tried. He gave me we had lunch today. Me and Eric had talked about the team a little bit, so he told me I was going to be on trivia, but I have no idea what there's going to be. So right. I didn't look anything up, so I hope I don't embarrass myself.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good. So here's how it's going to work. You have a chance to earn 12 points tonight and take the lead. You mentioned Larry Walker's Hall of Fame induction. In baseball, there are 10 individuals and 2 teams in MSU Denver's Hall of Fame. We'll give you a point for each answer.
Hall of Fame team and players.
Yes.
This is not going to go very well for me. What was the team in the 80s? I don't know, like 1986. Is that close?
Yeah, you're actually really close.
83? How many guesses do I get?
You get a couple.
Oh, man.
You're really close.
So we'll give that one, right?
Yeah. And then players. Shoot, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to blank on this. Coaches. Is Perico in the Hall of Fame? Hellman? Hellman's got to be in the Hall of Fame, right? So Hellman's Hall of Fame. Is Irv Brown in the Hall of Fame? Okay, so I got a couple questions. There we go. So I got 2, 3 maybe?
We got 3 so far.
Gosh, players that would be in the Hall of Fame. What's that? Stauffer in the Hall of Fame? What's earlier than him?
He's got a great name.
Is Berge in the Hall of Fame? Torrin Berge? He's got to be. I think he's got every hitting record on the whole thing. Gosh, who else would be? How many did I get? 4? That's not terrible. It's not good though.
That's decent. You already have 2 points.
Yeah. So I got 6 now.
That's
total?
6. Yeah.
I tried.
Is that it? Okay. So
maybe we'll get some of our guys. So next time like 15 years, if I'm still here and they still want me here, then I'll be able to pick some of our players.
Yeah, you'll be able to remember them easier. Well, Coach, that's going to be it. We want to thank you so much for hanging out with us.
You bet. Thanks,
yeah, of course. We want to wish you the best of luck going forward. All right. So we're time to take our last break, but stay tuned. We're going to be talking some golf up next in the Coach's Corner.
Let's go!
Watch out and in! The Roadrunners have responded. Kendall McIntosh throwing it down.
Hey, Bree Wellington, senior from women's basketball.
Down the floor, Wellington, all alone, got it.
And you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back, and now we will get to meet Gabby Esquibel from the golf team. Gabby, you look very confident. Are you a little bit nervous?
Yeah, I am nervous.
Yeah? Oh, well. You know, what was, okay, so here's the thing. I was asking your coach how she could help me improve on my top golf game, right?
Okay.
What would you recommend?
I always tell beginners, because I always see beginners like swing at the ball and don't hit it. I always say hit the ground, because like to get the ball up, you have to hit down.
Okay.
So hit the ground, and you'll already like guaranteed.
Is this for free? Because your coach was charging me some amount of money, and I'm like, I'm broke. You know?
Nah, I'm nice. Don't even worry.
Okay, so this is free. Yeah, there we go. Cool, we got it. We got it. Thank you.
So you are a local kid. I guess you grew up in Denver. Is that correct?
I did, yeah.
What did you know about MSU Denver before coming here?
I just knew it was close in the city on an awesome campus. That's all I knew. I mean, when I was in high school, all I was thinking about was going out of state. And then once I left, I was like, oh, I think Metro looks kind of cool.
So did Coach Ferguson tell you anything to come back from Hawaii?
No, I think that's against NCAA, but but I came back from Hawaii because my mom actually was having health problems. But yeah, I reached out to Steph and she was open arms. And that was cool.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about Coach Ferguson? You know, how is
Tell
she?
you about Coach?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's awesome. She's super laid back, and I don't know, like there's a lot of sports where you need coaches who like yell at you and stuff, and like this just isn't one of those sports, and I think Steph does really well about just the way she handles all of us. I don't know.
Just pretty chill, laid back, you know.
Chilled, laid back, but still like expects like us to be on time, expects us to like put forth effort. Like she's just awesome.
Cool.
Can you tell us how you got into golf, or like were your parents players before, or what kind of got you into golf?
So actually my whole family golfs, like both sides of my family. It's a little weird, but I actually hated golf. Like growing up, I hated it. I did not want to go out ever. And then I turned like 13 years old and I was like, I kind of like this sport. Like, so I got my grandpa's clubs. He like cut them down for me so they weren't like way too tall for me. And my dad would drop me off before he went to work. I'd practice for 8 hours and he'd pick me up after. And after that, I just liked golf. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports growing up, or?
I played basketball, volleyball, and soccer when I was really little, but yeah.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of soccer.
Yeah, that's my sport. Well, so you mentioned that you didn't like golf. What is it now about golf that intrigues you so much?
I think golf has always been like therapy, and once I started to like it, it's like a therapy, obviously, and then you just get to listen to music and just like be on your own and process your thoughts. And then you're like, oh, I hit a good shot, that felt good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like you get to be like out in nature. Like what can you do today where you're out in nature all the time? You just get to see like how beautiful it is. Hitting balls at sunset, recommend.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So that's what you turn to when you're like stressed and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just like pretty cool. Cool.
Yes. So in your bio at roadrunnersathletics.com, it says you're majoring in computer science and minoring in Spanish. What do you hope to do with that computer science degree once you graduate?
So once I graduate, I really want to work at the airport. I love to travel. Got a tattoo about it. But yeah, I really want to work at an airport. If not, that's fine. I just really enjoy coding. I actually got into it in high school, and I was like, oh, I'm decent at this. Like, maybe I can run with it, you know? So, I don't know. Whatever comes my way, it's such a... You can get a job almost anywhere with a computer science degree, so, yeah.
You mentioned the sunsets and how it's nice here in Colorado. What is it like in Hawaii? Is there a big difference between playing in Hawaii versus playing in Colorado?
Playing golf?
Yeah.
Yes. There was a huge difference. You're like hitting into lava rocks, and there's like goats everywhere. Like at least where I was at, because I was on the Big Islands, where it's like a lot of lava rock. Like the beaches are consisting of lava rock. All the sand is like just different. Everything's different. The grass is different. It's different. I definitely feel like I play better on the mainlands, not Hawaii. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you were mentioning, but you didn't mention totally, that you went to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what is it about Puerto Rico? Because this was last year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what was it about that you didn't invite us? You know what I'm saying?
Well, where's the money?
Well, I'm telling you, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying?
Do I look rich to you?
No,
Okay.
but yeah. What did you like about that? You know, there was a program.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. The golf was amazing. It actually reminded me of Hawaii a lot, but like maybe a little prettier. Honestly, I loved Puerto Rico so much. The people there, the culture, just the views, like everything about it. I'm tempted to move there after college.
Oh, look at that.
Love Puerto Rico.
Nice. Yeah, I heard very good like places in there and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Oh man, I'm tempted.
Yeah.
How did your first spring season go with MSU Denver? And what are some things you're working on?
I have struggled since I came to Denver. I don't know why. When I was in Hawaii, I feel like I played pretty solid. And since I've been to Denver, I just haven't done that great. But I've also gone through like a lot of changes. Like if you look at some of my older pictures, I've lost 30 pounds. I've lost 30 pounds, and that will affect your swing. Like my coach is always telling me, she's like, don't worry, like it's gonna come back. And I don't know why I'm still trying to adjust. I feel comfortable with my team, but I'm just ready to show my potential. I'm ready.
So for folks who don't know, this is not individual sport. In this case, for you guys, is that correct?
I would say for sure. We
Yeah.
all hold each other accountable, and yeah, it's definitely a team sport with us.
Yeah, cool.
We know your squad gets into kickboxing for training. How does that help your golf game? Or is it just to beat up on your teammates just a little bit?
Man, a little bit of both. I don't know. I say it helps with explosive movements. I definitely have gotten stronger. Yeah. I'm actually dating someone who graduated from Denver. He was on the soccer team, Lorenzo Rodriguez. I don't know if you guys know him. Lorenzo Rodriguez, maybe.
Sounds familiar.
Okay. Anyways, he's always like, you're so strong. I'm like, it's because of kickboxing, dude. Like, I took him to my kickboxing and he was dead, and like all of us were like we were getting it. So
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, soccer, man. Soccer's where it's at. I'm like, you're like, nah, let's go. You know what I'm saying? No, that's cool. Well, Gabby, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you guys. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
So we want to wish you the best of luck going forward, but you can still have them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Give it on. Okay, cool. But we're going to wrap up the show, but before we do, we want to tell you what's happening up next this weekend in Roadrunner Sports. We're happy to say that our basketball teams are back home this weekend to continue conference play. They'll first welcome in South Dakota School of Mines on Friday with tip-offs at 5:30 and 7:30. Then it's Black Hills State who will come on Saturday, and those games will get going at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Come to the Event Centers, say hi to Gabby, who will be there in the stands, and watch some amazing D2 basketball this weekend.
The softball and baseball seasons will get underway this weekend. The softball team will actually start at home and will take on Humboldt State and Sioux Falls for 5 games in 3 days. They'll start with a double header on Friday against Humboldt, and you can follow the action at roadrunnersathletics.com. The baseball team will hit the road to Hays, Kansas to take on Fort Hays State for a 4-game set starting on Friday.
And finally, our indoor track and field teams will compete in the Mainz Winter Classic and Multi this Friday, Saturday, and Golden. So we want to wish Coach Christopher and her squad the best of luck this weekend. And one last note, a big shout out to Bree Willington, who is our Student Athlete of the Week. The senior forward averaged 18.5 points per game and hit on 60% of her field goals. Bree was also stellar for the charities strip, hitting on 19 of 24 free throws for an impressive 79.2%. Hey, amazing job, Bree. And now, time to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We also want to thank Coach Ferguson, Coach Strain, and Bree for hanging out with us tonight. Gabby.
That's all right. Close enough.
Gabby. Sorry. I had it in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Gabby. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Thank you so much. And also, thank you, Eli Bacon, for hanging out with us. I'm Hector Cervantes. See you up next in the Coach's Corner.